Welcome to the Busy Mama Bee podcast. My name is Casey Sue. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And let's just jump right into this first introductory episode. Like I said, my name is Casey Sue. I live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I am creating a video podcast to break myself out of my comfort zone and create something new for myself. I am a new mama. I am a wife. I am a former operating room nurse. And right now my full-time job is right now my full-time job is as a holy crap, why doesn't my brain work? Right now my full-time job is a videographer, video creator, photographer. I run my own video business, 10 Trails Media. And I am also obviously a full-time mom. I essentially just wanted to make a space to connect with other women who are either stay-at-home moms or working moms or anywhere in between. And I'm really, really excited to just do this. I've had this idea in my head, and I'm sure many of you can relate to having an idea, but then also having paralysis with putting that into reality. There's definitely a lot of anxieties. I don't know if that's the right word. There's a lot of fears, a lot of discomforts that comes with trying something new and breaking out of that comfort zone. So I knew I had the resources to make this. Obviously, I know how to use camera gear. I know how to use my editing software, and audio is something that I'm really new to and I really want to expand on. And essentially, this is my way of diving right in and just ripping off the Band-Aid and just making something that hopefully brings value to you, the watcher or listener. So I really appreciate if you are watching or listening, and I really appreciate any feedback that you have. And yeah, so I already filmed a episode with a guest, so I'm really excited for you all to dive into that. And bear with me, I obviously was awful. Not terrible, but it's definitely a starting point for me. But Jordan, as you will see, my first guest, she is amazing, and I love that we got to connect and talk and chat about her and her business and some of the new entrepreneurial things that she is diving into. I really want to reach out and interview more women in our area who are moms, working moms, stay-at-home moms, and just chat all things, whether it's business, motherhood, everything in between. There's so many topics in my head that I would just love to talk about with people, whether it's like a guest interview, podcast style, or just me hanging out during nap time. Where to start? A little bit about me. Like I said, I am a new mom. I have a almost 8-month-old baby. By the time this comes out, she will probably be 8 months old. Our sweet little baby girl, she is amazing. Transitioning into motherhood has been quite the wild ride, as I'm sure a lot of you know. I'm just very, very blessed to be in the situation that we're in, where I'm able to work from home, essentially doing what I love, working on video editing, freelancing, making videos for businesses, and doing photography. And that's something that I definitely, like, looking back like 5 years ago, that just seems wild that I'm to this point now. It has been awesome. Like I said, I am also a former operating room nurse. I'm still a registered nurse. I still have my license, but I recently made the decision to leave my nursing job completely. I finally ripped off the Band-Aid and let that part of my life go for now to pursue being a mom and being home with my daughter, but also giving myself that freedom and flexibility to pursue other video and media aspects. It was like I kind of knew when I was pregnant that something had to give. I was already PRN working as a nurse and I was also doing my video stuff. But when I got pregnant, I kind of had in the back of my mind, I kind of knew that something had to give. Juggling all these things, I felt in my heart that something was going to drop. But I told myself to just wait and see how things looked, how my life looked when everything was all said and done. And I feel very much like a weight has been lifted, finally, just letting this piece of my life go for now. It's like, it's not forever. It's a temporary thing. Who knows? Maybe someday down the road, I might go back to full-time nursing. Who knows? But I definitely wanted to give my daughter 100% of myself. And being able to work from home has been such like a huge, huge opportunity. It's hard to not do. But that was like initially in the first couple of weeks, well, in the first couple of days after having her, that was one of my big anxieties that kind of struck me initially, was the thought of like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can like do this. Like that mentality kind of settled in after the first couple of days of, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this, taking care of a baby and working. Obviously, in the moment of everything, felt like times 1,000 with my feelings. After you have a baby, you definitely experience a crash of hormones, and I was definitely not prepared for that huge hormonal crash. And a part of that triggered my thoughts of like, oh shit, like, oh no, I definitely cannot go back to work. I was just so overwhelmed with the thought of like everything. But I had to tell myself that wait and see how things are. Obviously, everything in the moment feels like it's times 1,000, but I was like, I need to just forget about work, and I need to tell myself in my head that like I'm not going back, to just give myself peace of mind in the moment. And obviously, I got through it. It was definitely a rocky start, but I still had that peace of mind in the back of my mind that nursing was going to be the one thing that dropped off. Which now that it's a reality, it definitely feels good to finally just let it go. But it's bittersweet. It was definitely a huge part of my life for a long time. Obviously, I went to school for nursing and spent a good chunk of years working full time. But it does feel good to pursue something that is my own. And it feels good to be your own boss, essentially. Obviously, it's comparing apples to oranges. You definitely can't compare working a normal job to being your own boss and being an entrepreneur and be a freelancer. Is drastically different for sure. But I know a lot of moms can relate to that feeling of wanting something more, wanting something that you can do working from home. And yeah, childcare is just crazy. We actually looked into doing childcare a little bit, like part-time 2 days a week, but we essentially decided that maybe that's not the right path for us right now. But it's okay. It's good. What else can I say about myself? We have 2 cats, Max and Holly. They're amazing. Holly is outside right now because she was scratching at the door and I didn't want that to be in the background. Max is back inside somewhere. Who knows where. But yeah, I love cats. In fact, fun fact, I did try to do a kind of a video podcast a couple years ago. I called it Cameras, Coffee, and Cats, talking about more video stuff and life stuff and everything. And it was good. Like, I think I did a good job with it. But this is going to be different than that. This is going to be very much more focused on motherhood and business and entrepreneurship and like everything in between. I have a lot of ideas of different topics, of things I want to cover on this channel, and things to dive into. And I'm really, really excited to create this space for conversation and connection. And if you have any ideas of any topics you want to talk about or anything like that, please, please, please do let me know. I am super, super nervous but also excited to just really dive in and trying something new. I think it's so essential for us as human beings to break out of our comfort zones. And for me, that is talking. Obviously, I do a lot of media and video stuff, but I'm always the one behind the camera. And I'm really excited to just do it. I'm sorry, I'm so weird. I'm just excited to put forth this new effort into something that I know is going to hopefully bring value to other people, because there is just a lot of things with motherhood that are just not talked about, I feel like, or at least they are being more and more talked about nowadays. And I really want to provide value to either new moms or people who are soon to be moms. So I think that it's so important for us to connect. And I'm really excited to connect with moms who are in different phases of life with their motherhood. So yeah, I apologize if my brain is kind of all over the place with this introductory episode. This next episode that you probably either already saw or are going to watch dives into a lot about being a mom and being a business owner, and definitely stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing something for yourself. So I really, really enjoyed doing that, with having that conversation with Jordan. And I have an idea of some other people that I want to sit down and have a chat with. I just need to reach out to them. If you would like to connect with me, definitely please hit me up. I would love to have a conversation with you. And yeah, I need to get better at talking. I guess I should explain a little bit about what, why, who, what, when, where. I should explain a little bit about why it's called Busy Mama Bee podcast. I mean, hopefully the title speaks for itself, but we're all busy bees in life. And I am a busy mama, and the bee part comes from growing up, I thought my name was Casey Sue Bee, like Sue Bee Honey, because that's what my family would call me, a little nickname. So going into kindergarten, I really thought my name was Casey Sue Bee. That was my name. And so that kind of became a really unique nickname for me growing up. And when I was pregnant, my dad started calling me Casey Mommy to be. So that kind of really stuck. And we call our baby girl, we call her Bee. That's like her internet name, because we made the decision not to share her personal information online or share her face really, and except for some like very unique specific situations. So that is definitely a topic that I want to dive into more. We dabbled in a little bit with my conversation with Jordan, but that is definitely a conversation that's happening more and more online about internet safety, and especially with people making content about their children. And that would be a great topic to talk about with a guest or solo by myself. So let me know if you want to talk more about that kind of conversation and dive into more about how we made that decision and how we kind of went about that. If you would like to connect, I would love to connect with you. Please follow me on Instagram and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hopefully I figured out how to get this on like podcast websites like Spotify and stuff like that. If I didn't figure that out yet, shame on you, future Casey, for not figuring that out. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really excited to go on this journey with you all, and yeah, I will definitely see you guys in the next couple of episodes.